Hello, welcome to Before the Vow. Nowadays, so many people enter into relationships, but they overlook a lot of things. Some things don't need oversight. It is very necessary for us to pick up those little things that we see in people. One of those things are personality traits that can have influence over our behavior when we get married. When you are married to somebody, it is different from when you're in a relationship. Especially in relationships, you don't spend most of the times with your partner. And when you are also courting, it's hard for you to interfere so much into the person's private business. When I say private business, I'm talking about private affairs of the person. Their normal routine, their normal daily routines, their what they wear, what they eat. We don't focus so much on influencing them because they have their life to live, and that life that they are living, it is something that we can just observe and fit yourself into it and see that how is it going to look like, or how is it going to be when we get married. Those personality traits or differences that we have, sometimes when you all fall into the same category, is to the advantage. Sometimes too, it is very good for you to complement each other. If you are on the opposite sides, we fit in easily, because when one is slow, another one can be smart, and they can complement each other. Sometimes too, when both of you are slow, there is nothing wrong with it, because no one is even going to criticize the other. When you get married, there are so many things that you can't change, but in courting, this is the time that you can easily talk about it. If you think that you cannot cope or it's not going to help you in the long run, this is a time that you can decide whether you want to split or you still can make it work. When you're dating, we see our partners as, we admire them in so many ways. If they are the kind of people that they like to dress a lot, we see that we become impressed that, oh, he knows how to dress, he knows what to wear, and I like the way he dresses, I like his accent, I like the way he speaks, looks like he's so intelligent and all those things. So you on the other side, you are admiring him because of the way he dresses. It's not the main reason why you want to marry him, but it also gives you that kind of, admiration for him. When you get married, and because he likes to dress, you're already aware that he likes to dress. When you get married and he's always using his money to buy clothing, how are you going to feel? Women who also like to dress, they are always, calculating the number of shoes that they need, the dresses, the different colors and all that. When you are the type of person who always like to dress to kill, and the other one does not really like that, and you get married, how is it going to look like when one party is always using the little that they have to buy clothes? Sometimes you feel like you need this money for investment. When you go to some of those people, their rooms or their houses, it's like a boutique. So if you calculate the costs involved, you can say you can even buy a land. But you knew him to be that type of person who loves to dress. How can you change him when you get married? Because each and every day he's buying a new clothing. That is what he wants. He used to do that before. You admired him when you were in a relationship, but now that you are married, you don't see it to be like something that is nice anymore. You see it to be like he's not serious. We cannot even move forward. He's always thinking about himself. Even sometimes when they get it, they don't even buy some for you. It's all about themselves. They always want to be the center of attraction. They always want to look good for people to, admire them and shower them those kind of praises. You on the other side, who don't really care about what to wear and anything goes, you can just pick up any dress and you are done. But when you see your partner or your wife always looking for something new to wear each and every day, how can you think with that person to move forward? But when you were in a relationship, you overlooked those things. On the contrary, you even admired them when they dress. If somebody is optimistic, he sees things like the glass is half full. A pessimist sees the glass like half empty. So the optimist can easily, take risk and be fast, in making decisions because they know that things can really go on well with them. But the pessimist on the other side sees things like, we can't take that risk. What if? So they are always talking about what if. But when you are in a relationship, the pessimist see the optimist as, oh, I like his courage, or I like her courage. He's daring or she's daring. They are, they can easily take risk and they are forceful. They push ahead and all that. So the pessimist sees it as beautiful. And the optimist also sees the pessimist as she or he is drawing back to, explore or look at how they are taking the lead in all things. But marriage tends to open a lot of people's eyes. Your eyes is widely opened and you tend to relax. So if you don't take care and you get married, the optimist will always see the pessimist as drawing him back. When you are dating somebody and you want to know, we have some people who are like the neat, like the organized people, and those who don't care. So their house, everything is put in place as it is. So the other one too, like they don't care. They can even throw their clothes on the floor when it's dirty, and they can just pick them up whenever they are ready to wash. But if you are not washing, they can be on the floor. But the other one too, who is always organized and always arranging things as it is, when you get married, maybe when you are dating and you go to your boyfriend's house and his house is all organized, you tend to admire the person. But when he also comes around and see that you are also, you don't care about anything, like, oh, this lady, she is just free. She has a free spirit. She doesn't even care about anything. When you get married and you begin to stay together, you know that he's always organized. You put something here, he will talk about it. You don't wash the dishes, you talk about it. Especially when children come into the marriage, then the children are scattering the whole place. They get offended. And if it is the men who are always, organized, they don't even want to come home at all because they come and see the place messy and they're not happy about it. But the woman who is also okay and doesn't even care because she can't keep on picking. So they will let's allow the children to make the place dirty. After all, this is not the only thing that I'm doing in the house. It's going to, bring a lot of conflict. But when you are dating and you want to know whether this person is neat or not, if he's a guy, look at the car. Look at his apartment, like the way he organizes his things. You know that he is that kind of person who is always picky, always arranging things as it is. He wants everything to be perfect. But you, the woman, too, when a guy is dating a girl like this, he should also look at her kitchen and how she has arranged her things in her wardrobe. That is where you get to know that, oh, this lady is also organized. But if things are just there anyhow, then the two of you meet. Fine, you see that you are at the opposite side. If you were to be the same, both of you are neat and organized. You see that your house, whenever people come to your house is just excellent. When both of you two, you are on the I don't care side, you can be just jumping over clothes in the house and the place is messy and both of you don't care. But when it's the opposite, so the problem comes whenever you are complementing each other. One is like this and the other one like this. If you don't talk about it when you are dating and you get married, you keep on arguing and you wonder why when you were courting it wasn't a problem, and now that you are married it has become a very big issue that they keep on talking about it. Some people, when they finish eating, they want the utensils to be in the sink till the next morning. Some people too, they don't want to see that, and all the time it's like one is neat, one is not neat, and it can even bring marriage separation. Some other thing too is like those who like to talk a lot. when you are talking and the other partner does not really like to talk, the only thing when you are dating, the only thing that he needs to do is to nod his head and to keep you, talking and talking and talking. But when you get married and you know that this person doesn't like talking, he always likes to be reserved, to think. Even if he's going through problems, he is able to accommodate everything and keep it within him. But the person on the other side is so outspoken and open. Anything that he or she uses her eyes or his eyes to see or the ear to listen, it needs to come out of the mouth. Those people like that, even when nobody is at home, they can pick a phone and call and start talking that, do you know what is going on right now? Have you heard that this and that and that? You see, everything that they see, they have to talk about it. And they are very good painters. When they are painting an issue, they pay attention to every little detail of it. They will say everything as it is. And someone who was not even there or on the scene when it happened, they can easily paint it so beautiful for you to even understand it. Even when the sun was rising and it was setting, the time and all that, they can tell you everything. But the one on the other hand who doesn't like to talk, he's like a pointer. They go straight to the point and say it as it is. And it's done. They don't, elaborate on those things too deep, but they are happy to explain things to you if you ask questions. But if you don't ask questions, they will just go straight to the point and it's done. So the one who is a talkative needs to dig and ask a lot of questions before he can come out and say things as they want to hear. When you are married, you might think that the one who is too quiet is always keeping things away from you. And you will see that he is so wicked. I don't even know him that much. We are married for 5 years and I don't know anything about him because he's always keeping things in him. You have to always ask because that is his personality. It's affecting his behavior too. So you on the other side needs to push and dig before. If he's not telling you anything, that doesn't mean that it is intention that he wants to, keep things away from you. But that is his nature. If both of you are able to understand each other's differences and accept it the way they are, there will be no problem. So whilst you are dating, you negotiate. Or you tend to understand them well, so that when you get married, you know how to deal with them. If he's not the talking type, unless you approach him and ask him something before he tells you, you say that, so why didn't you tell me before? You are always hiding things away from me. If you could understand him as it was, like he doesn't like talking unless you ask, you wouldn't even be quarreling over such trivial things. You would have understood him from where he's coming from, that he doesn't like talking. But you also on the other side who likes to talk too much, sometimes the one who is a pointer always wants to go straight to the point. Whenever you are talking and trying to paint the whole thing like for them to and keep on repeating yourself, he also come and say, can you go straight to the point? Oh yeah, this thing that you are saying, you have said it before, so you just jump it and say what I want to hear. Because they are also used to giving in every details of how it is. So you on the other side listening, you get bored. It's like you're tired of listening because it's too long. You want to just hear the point and it's gone. But she also wants to elaborate everything in details. She's trying to paint the whole thing for you and you're also not interested. But if both of you are the talkative type, you can keep on talking and talking the whole day. You talk and you're not tired. But if the both of you two are the quiet type, you can be in the house the whole day, nobody will be talking to each other and you're okay. But the moment it's opposite, then you have to complement each other, or you have to understand them. You psych your mind up that this is how my boyfriend is like, or this is how my girlfriend is. My girlfriend likes talking, then you are prepared for it. Or my boyfriend doesn't like to talk at all, then you also prepared for it. Other than that, you get married and you even have problems in communicating. The other thing that you tend to know about the personality differences is the one who is like always paying attention to critical issues, like the critic or the intuitive. So the critic is always analyzing things, always trying to deduce it as it is, and they will talk and they have to explain it, always finding fault in things like, how come this thing happened like that? They're always using their brain to figure out why it happened that way, or why is it so. It shouldn't have been like that. They are always criticizing things. They're always, finding fault in things. But the one who is intuitive is always, going by the instincts, has that kind of free spirit. Oh, I don't care. Like my feeling, I just want it that way. That's why. They don't have explanation to anything. But the critic is always, demanding explanation for everything. They are the people who always want to look like they are right. They are intelligent than the other. Whilst you are dating, the other one who is intuitive tend to admire the one who is critical. Oh, he's intelligent. He knows everything. He's always, using the brain. And the other one too, the critic also see the intuitive as always listening because they don't care. But when you get married, the one who is always using the instinct feels like the critic is always right. He thinks that he's intelligent and he knows all. He doesn't want to even open, create the room for discussion or create the room for someone's opinion too. It is always about him. Whatever he says is right. Whatever he says is final. Or if it's the woman, whatever that she says is right. So that one, you see that there's some men are in their homes and they are being controlled by their wives because their wives are always right. Everything about what they say, it should be final and they should take it as it is. When you are able to complement each other and understand where each and everyone is coming from, there will be no problem in your marriage. But when the love is blind is over and now you are using your eyes are opened in your marriage and you are paying attention to little things that are they are like problems in the marriage, you always find it difficult to cope. Because now you are seeing it as the world is clear. But when you were dating, you were blinded by love and you didn't care about anything. Somebody was so happy to see that their partner are very intelligent. But when they get married, they see that they are even dumb because their intelligence was like trying to kind of show off, but they get married and they don't have that kind of wisdom to even manage a home. So what kind of wisdom did you see in them when you were dating? Because they were trying to show off that they know all. But that time you were being blinded by love, so you didn't pay much attention about it. That this kind of wisdom that they are showing is just a show off. But they don't have the sense, the home sense, the sense that they can use to manage a home, to take care of children, to take care of their, their business and all that. So that means you ask yourself that what kind of intelligence did I see in him? Or what kind of intelligence did I see in her? What was I seeing that I thought that they could be able to manage a home well? You get married and there's always this kind of misunderstanding amongst you because you are not meeting. So it is very important for you to pay little attention to the things that the personality of the person that you're going to marry, because that personality determines the character. It has a lot of influences on their character, and that character is what you're going to live with when you get married. If you feel like you are brushing off everything that you see in your boyfriend or brushing off everything that you see in your girlfriend, oh, I just admire him because he likes to dress. He likes to dress. Is he going to use his money to buy clothes all the time when you get married? Or he can easily, put those dressing aside for 1 minute and try to think ahead and invest. If you just look at the way he's just neat and I like it the way he is, you get married and the things that you wish could happen in your marriage for you to move forward or the progression will never come because he's always thinking about himself and his clothing. And if you are also feeling like, I don't want somebody, I always want my peace of mind, I don't want talking. But once you are dating this girl and she's always on the phone with you, always has something to say and you are happy with it, you get married and now you are complaining that she likes talking too much. Didn't you see it when you were dating? That time, because you were not thinking about how to raise a conversation and you were happy with it, you were cool. But now you are married and you keep on condemning her that she likes talking too much and she should at least sometimes sit down and think. because you are always that type who always wants to sit down and think. And she's also not that type of person. She's not even always going to gossip and bring issues home, because she likes talking. She will peep her nose into people's affairs, because anything that her eyes, that goes through the gates of her eyes and the ear, it should come out of the mouth. They can't keep things in them. So you have to know all those things before you get married to the person. So that's why I was talking about the topic as the personality traits of the individual influences the character. When you get married, it is going to be difficult for you to change. It can change only when both of you want the marriage to work. If you don't want the marriage to work, and that time the love is blind period has passed, that's where you feel like then it is not worth it for us to, go along, because I need to move on. But this is not working. We are not clicking. See, we always use that word. We are not clicking. It's not that he cheated or it's not that she cheated, but just that our minds are not the same. We are not clicking, because the optimistic person or the optimist is always pushing to take risk. But the pessimist is always seeing it as a problem. What if? And when you want to push forward to even invest, and like they are drawing you back. No, don't do this. I don't want this to happen, because we can go bankrupt and it's going to affect us. And you are seeing your partner always drawing you back. How am I going to move forward with this kind of person who is not supporting me to push? But you should have noticed it from the beginning, because you can see. But because you were blinded by love, you forgot to, pay attention to those things. They are there in them, if only you want to see them. But if you don't want to see them and you are blinded by love, you get married before you see them. When you are dating, open your eyes wide. There are a lot of things that you see in your partner, but because the love is blind, you will not be able to recognize it. If you really want to have a long-lasting marriage, and if you don't want to be fighting all the time in your marriage, this is the time that you have to be noticing their personality. Have a critical look at how they talk, how they behave, how they dress, how they are, they keep their cars, how neat their apartment is, how well organized they are. So if you don't take care, you be with somebody that you think that the person is not a match. But before then, you saw that there was nothing wrong with it. So before you say I do, try and look at the personality traits too of that person. If both of you fall under the same category, that one too, you can be okay. Like if both of you are optimistic people, you can both take risk, you can push forward. But if both of you are pessimistic people, it's like the what if, you always be thinking about what if, and it will be over. But because you fall under the same category, there will be no problem. But the problem comes in when you're complementing each other. So when you're complementing each other, try to negotiate. Try to talk about it before you get married, so that you have a very beautiful marriage. Until I come your way again next time, I'll come your way with another topic. But until then, it is bye-bye for now. And thanks for watching.